Hello friends and welcome to Max Programming, and in this video we are going to learn about simple output and input, and we are going to learn what are variables too. So let's start off. The first thing is output. We've learned output, that how can we output anything. Simply we are going to use the print statement. Let's print out hello world, or else we can use print, let's say 1 plus 1, and we can use many more things to get the output. And so if you want to break the line, so I explain you can use the \n for that. And so when we run this, we get the output hello world, and then 2, 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So we've learned what is output. Now for example, if you want the input from the user, so for that you need to use the input statement. So input function. So what's actually input? Here we are going to write in double quotes or single quotes the string. Okay, so for example, if you write a string, enter a number and then a colon, I write this string. So after this colon there will be a user input. So let's run this. We get here enter a number. So now when I want to write, I can write anything here. So let's write here my channel's name, Max Programming, and so we press enter. Process finished, program finished. Or else I can again run this program, enter a number. So I'll just enter a number. Let's run it from here. Okay, enter a number 14, let's write here. Process finished. So we can write anything in input, and in input we can write only the string type. We cannot write the integers. Now you will ask, why this 14? 14 is an integer, but it's not actually an integer. It's a string in the input. So if you're going to add two numbers with the input, so we cannot add, enter a number, enter another number, and then you cannot add them. So now let's jump on to, we are going to use the, what are actually string operations we are going to learn now. We can add two strings. For example, let's write a print. Okay, print, I write here max, my first string, plus, we have the plus sign for adding, and so plus, and then I write another string, programming, and so I put a space bar here. So both the strings will be added. So let's run this program here. We have max programming. So we are going to add these strings with the plus sign, and so we can add these strings. But if you don't want this space here, so let's make another one. Okay, max plus, and then so let's one space here, programming, simply, and so it will give you the same output with one space. And so that's the string operation. This is concatenation actually. And then so I told you that we can only add strings. Okay, we can do all the stuff with the strings. So if you want that 2, if you do 2 plus 2 here, so it will give you 22. But if you do here simply 2 plus 2, so it will give you 4. Let's see the difference. We have 22 here because we are adding strings here. These are actually strings within the single quotation marks, and these are not the strings, these are the integers. And if you are going to add strings plus integers, so it cannot be possible. So I said 2 plus, if I write 2, then it will give you an error. Oh, sorry. See, type error can only concatenate str. Str is actually the string, not int to str. It actually means that we cannot add both of the things, strings and integers. That's actually the concatenation. And I told you what's string operations. Now we have another thing. So if I want max to be outputted 3 times, or let's say 5 times, so I should multiply it. So we have the asterisk multiplied by 5. It will work because it's actually multiplying, and it will give you the output max, 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 as you can see here. But if I want a space, so I can put a space here, or else I can add it with a string, 5 times max. So you don't need to write max and then plus max. So it's the use, we can use this. Okay, we have this string operation. We can not multiply string with a string. We can only multiply the integer with a string, not a string with a string. Okay, and float also. Float, I told you, decimal numbers. And so now we are going to learn what are variables. Now we have to add here variables. If you any programming language, you have to add one variable. And if you have seen any of the programming languages, most of the programming languages have the data types of their variables. For example, int. So you have to put, when you name your variable, before that you have to put int data type. But Python Python does not need that actually. So if you want to name a variable, for example, x equals to simply 10, and you don't have to put the semicolon also. In most programming languages there is a semicolon. And so we have x equals to 10. So if we write print x simply, so it will print out 10. As you can see down in the output, we can also change the value. X equals to 10, we had x equals to 15. Now if you print x, 10 and 15. Why? Because we changed the value. The first one we changed the value of x, that was actually it followed the first x, and this one followed the second x. That's the reason the output was different. And so we can add more, and now it's an integer. It recognizes what data type it is. So if I write here x equals to 10, for example, and if I want to add something in it, so print, okay, I want to add x plus 5. Okay, so I'm going to add integer only, then only it will give me the output correctly, or else it will be an error. 15 it came out. Why? Because x is 10 and plus we added 5 with it, and we can subtract it, we can multiply, we can divide it, and many more things we can do, arithmetic operations. And so with the variables we can do many things. In the next tutorial I'm going to teach you what are variables. Actually, we'll go in detail. Till then, stay tuned and hit a like if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and finally, thanks for watching.